Oh my goodness, I was given this massive hunk of meat by a company. This is a bone-in pork shoulder, and it might be the largest pork shoulder that I've ever made in my life. You can see it is the size of my torso, and we're just gonna cook it today. Yeah, welcome back to Meet and Greet. Now, on the surface, this should be a pretty simple cook. And to be honest with you guys, I don't know what I'm doing with this in the sense that there's no crazy recipe. There's nothing like that. No injections, no brines, no nothing. I just pulled this out of the freezer a couple days ago and decided that I was gonna cook this for my barbecue fam. So we're just gonna cook this like a normal down-home backyard pork shoulder. It just happens to have the bone and well, yeah, it just literally has a piece of the leg on it, and I need to trim some of this off. So let me take this glove off here, and we'll just jump into it. So there's some of this meat that would make some delicious tacos. I mean, you could do a lot with this bad boy right here, but I'm gonna take it just so we have the uniformity, and so we get even rub application the way that I like to do it. And now I'm just going and evening this thing up. You can see coming out of the cryo vac, it had just some scalping here from the processing process. Honestly, guys, they took this fat cap down for us pretty good, so we don't need to worry about that. I do see this little guy right here hanging off, so if I can get a grip, we'll take that. Come on, baby. Yep. And that's it. That's all she wrote. This is a beautifully trimmed bone-in pork shoulder. This looks good. This is going to have maximum flavor, guys. Anytime you keep the bone in on anything, it helps kind of act as a heat conductor and stabilizer, the bone does, so that helps with the cooking process. And also, I just find that when you leave the bone in something, it just tends to have a little bit more depth of flavor, in my opinion. So super excited about that. Let's talk about the rub that's going on this, and then I'll talk about the cooking process, and I need to get this on the Traeger. So for the rub, I went Meat Mitch. This is just Meat Mitch rub. Why Meat Mitch? Well, I think he's out of Kansas City, which is in my neck of the woods. Of course, I sell rubs, guys, but you know, we'll bring someone on the channel, talk about a good dude doing good work, preaching the good word of barbecue. So that's Meat Mitch, and we're gonna go on top with just, I guess this is his AP rub, but use whatever rub you want. But before we do that, I gotta go mustard. Now, when it comes to large cuts of barbecue, I'm a big proponent of a binder, especially if the surface of the specific cut of barbecue isn't as tacky as I want it to be, which this kind of isn't. It's been sitting out for just a little bit. It's kind of dried up on me. So all we'll do is go on top with a little bit of regular mustard. My preferred binder is equal parts pickle juice and mustard, but we don't have pickle juice, and mustard will do just fine. The key with this, though, as I always preach, if you're new here, is don't overdo the binder. It's really easy to think that you're like using the binder as seasoning or some kind of, you know, like extra component, and that leads people to overdo it. You don't need to do it. The binder should fall to the background, and it does if you don't overdo it. And then we're going non-presentation side first, of course, and I'm just gonna follow this up with the rub. And guys, I opened up the spoon side. I don't have the circular slots. This is the spoon side, so this could get real hectic on us, but I wanna go heavy. Oh, that wind is not helping me. Gosh darn it. We'll roll with it. I probably should have tasted this before just to see how salty it was, but you know, you live and you learn, so I'm just hitting this. Okay, that's looking real good. I like the look of that. Let's flip it to the presentation side. All right, I'll play it a little safer. We'll use the side with the holes. Here we go. Beautiful. Guys, this smells really, it smells savory. Sweet, not so much. I'm sure there's sugar in this, but it just smells really savory, which I like for pork. I talk about it a lot, but I'm not a huge hyper sweet pork kind of guy. I'm more of a kind of savory pork kind of guy. It's got the color though. That's what I like with a good pork rub. It's got the color. It's got the adhesion. It's got the stick that we want. So that's good, guys. Let me take this glove off and taste a little of this, just to make sure that I didn't mess that up. Oh yeah. Oh, that's it. That's a good rub. Okay, the play from here, very simple. I'm going in the Traeger 220 degrees right off the bat. I'm gonna turn it on super smoke. I'm just gonna super smoke it for an hour. If you're on a backyard smoker, that just looks like you building a little bit dirtier of a fire, or putting your meat on your smoker and then starting your fire so that your smoker runs through the dirty combustion phase before it hits clean combustion. And through that process, which on a backyard smoker, it's about an hour, through that process you get dirty smoke. It'd be the same thing as if you super smoked on a Traeger. So I'm gonna super smoke this on the Traeger, 220 degrees for about an hour. From there, I'm gonna turn this sucker up to about 250 and I'll let it roll. I'm gonna bring you guys back through the entire process. The point of this video, one, is just to have some fun in the backyard, hanging out with you guys, cooking barbecue, but also, I've never cooked a bone-in pork shoulder this way with the with literally the bone hanging off the side. So we'll see how long it takes, and I'm curious to see how this specific pork shoulder compares to something you might get out of a grocery store, you know, just the normal size. So let me get this on the Traeger. So I set this freaking hog leg right in the middle of the Traeger, obviously because it's just so large. So there's nothing to it as far as where I'm putting it. Like I said, I'm rolling 220 degrees, super smoke, and I'll see you guys back in about an hour once this thing starts to take some color. Once that rub starts to kind of adhere itself to the surface of our pork leg, I'll bring you guys back then. See you in a little bit. We're about 4 hours into our cook, and I was gonna bring you guys in sooner, but it just felt a little too premature. So this is literally the first time I'm opening this Traeger since I put it on. So you and I both will be seeing this together for the first time. Wow, that looks magnificent. That is just doing all the things we wanted to. Meat feels super firm right now because we're really early into the cook, to be honest with you guys. I probably got another 6 hours of this freaking thing, but we'll see. I'm just feeling it. It's just pumping out a ton of intermuscular and topical fat, which we love to see. And man, it smells delicious. So all I'm gonna do now is add in some apple cider vinegar mixed with water. It's just equal parts both. And this is warm at minimum. You want it room temperature, but this is warm. And I'm just going over the top. I really don't want to overdo this, guys. I want this to stay nice and moist on the top. Don't want any edges to burn, nothing to burn, and it's not. Again, it's doing a great job of kind of self-regulating and basting itself with all that fat, because this thing is full of fat. But I'll lift it up. That is hot. Gosh darn, that's hot. But you can see just how large this sucker is. So let me close this down and I'll keep talking to you guys. Like I said, guys, I'm just spritzing this as it needs it. It's easy to overdo the spritz, especially in a Traeger when it's not super high convection like you would with an offset where the smokestack is just drawing and pulling all that heat and all that air through. It's a little bit less convection, and the convection that is in a Traeger, it's a little bit of a different convection. So I say that to say it's super important that you kind of let the meat do what it wants to do. I would manipulate this more on a backyard smoker with kind of a little give and take as far as letting that surface dry out, and then I add moisture back, and then I let it dry back out and add moisture back. That's kind of my method to adding really good bark, especially on beef cuts like beef ribs or brisket. But when it comes to pork shoulder, I'm a firm believer, and I always preach this, that pork shoulder is the most fail-proof heavy cut of barbecue you could possibly cook. It doesn't get any easier than pork shoulder. So all I'm saying to you guys as a vote of confidence, if you're cooking a pork shoulder, or if you're just watching this for entertainment currently with a pork shoulder maybe on the horizon, is guys, please don't overdo the spritz, especially in a pellet grill. As far as temperatures are concerned, again, we started at 220, super smoke, then I moved to 250 at about the hour mark. From here now at about the 4 hour mark, I'm going to bump my temps in the like 265, 275. On a pellet grill, that's on the hotter side. That would be considered hot. So I'm gonna run this on the hotter side. If you're on a backyard smoker, you know, adjust accordingly. But with pork shoulder specifically, I like to run them a little hotter, a little warmer, just to kind of push them through. So that's my plan from here. I'll see you guys back in a handful of hours when it's time for me to finish this out. And I got a certain way that I finish pork butts out, a way that allows me to retain as much juice as humanly possible. And then I kind of repurpose that juice later on. But I'll show you guys how I do my pork butt specifically when the time comes. Heavy cut of meat. I got a little while longer, so I'll see you guys back in a little bit. Lord have mercy. Our pork butt, pork shoulder, bone in, porky pork, it's real tender. All right, I had to go back and collect some of these pieces that fell off of the, I'm just gonna call it the shank. Guys, this piece right here where the bone is, it's not as thick as the freaking heart of this thing, so it's already tender. But I tempted, it was 170 degrees, so the way that I like to do pork butt is I like to catch the shoulder right at the kind of tail end of the stall. Now, a pork butt stall and a brisket stall, it's a little bit different in the way that it interacts with the cook chamber. However, a stall is a stall. So this is about 170. I tempted. It's probably got another 5 or so degrees to comfortably be out, but the stall is the part of the cook where it just starts pumping out the intermuscular fat and it starts to kind of exhaust itself of a lot of that intermuscular moisture. And I want to catch all that. So I'm going to catch all that in this pan, but I just want to note, fam, look how beautiful, how just stringy and tender. I can't help myself. Normally I eat at the end of the video, but my mouth is quite literally watering. Here we go. It's hot. Okay. Shouldn't have done that because now I want to eat the rest of this. So here's the plan here, fam. I got some Kerrygold butter. And all I'm going to do with my disgustingly dirty hands, sorry to my wife, she won't know that there's pulled pork juice all over our butter, but I'm just gonna go what's probably the equivalent of like, I don't know, 2-3 pads of butter. And I'm just gonna put one down here, just to add just a little bit of extra fat. Do we need it? Certainly not. It's a pork butt. It's super fatty already. But the real play here, guys, is I'm gonna do the following. So I have kind of my AP barbecue sauce right here, and I'm going to go right over the top with this. Now, it's a big hunkin' piece of meat, and so this isn't enough barbecue sauce to cover this entire pork butt, but that's okay, because the main reason I'm adding this is to make it tacky for what I'm about to do next. Oh my goodness. Look at this. How crazy does that look? And for some extra pop, I'm going back with our meat mitch. And now that I got the surface tacky, I'm gonna hit it with this dry rub right over the top. Yeah, that's gonna do it, folks. Okay, that looks really freaking good. Shout out Memphis. Love me a good rack of dry rub ribs. This isn't dry rub. This isn't dry rubbed ribs, obviously, but it looks like it. Okay, all I'm gonna do from here is cover this in foil. Once the foil's on, I'm going about, I don't know, 280, 300 degrees. It's your call on temperature. Just go about 10 to 15 degrees higher than what you've been cooking it at. So that's it. Back in the Traeger she goes. All I'm looking for is for this pork shoulder to be probe tender plus. So probe tender like you would a brisket, plus a little bit more because I like to finish my pork shoulders a little bit past what I would a brisket. So for this, 205-ish, somewhere in there. I've cooked them to 210. They've survived. Once I hit that temperature, and I'm certain it's as tender as can be without drying it out, I'm going to pull it out, rest it on my countertop for about 45 minutes, and then it's going into my warmer. So fam, this will be the last time you see this pork shoulder until likely tomorrow morning when I come back. Let me stop yapping, let me get some foil on, and I'll see you guys back tomorrow morning, or of course for you, it'll be like right now. And just like that, we are back, fam, with a massive bone-in pork shoulder that's done. I mean, this sucker is done. So as you can see, I'm just basting this just to add a little bit more moisture on top. This is the first time I popped it open out of the foil, took a look at it, and it smells unbelievable. To be honest with you guys, I ran out of gloves. I don't have my nitrile gloves, which sucks because I just go into this thing, but I do have a couple forks, which is all you need to just tear this sucker open. So, I mean, look at it. My goodness. Oh my goodness. Guys, look. That is that's beautiful. It's got everything. It's just tender as could be, coming right off of the bone as you would hope, as you would imagine. But look at this, guys. Where's the bone at? I want to take this sucker out. There it is. Wow. Look at that. Right off the bone as you'd want. Now that's a thing of beauty, guys. Super happy with that. Also, wow, just right off. Okay, let's just take a bite of this. Wow. Oh, that's good. That is magnificent. Oh my goodness. I got one more fork in here. I'm taking this bite. Wow. Oh man. Yeah, guys. That's just flat out fire. Guys, at this point, you could pull it, you could chop it, you could sandwich it, you could do anything you want. Put it on some nachos. It's your world. I'm just living in it. I just wanted to bring you guys yet another video of me cooking barbecue. So hope you enjoyed this. As always, Big Frizz, meet and greet. Love you guys to death. Over and out.